Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about how to choose a smartphone in 2021. 2020 was a year where we saw a lot of trends, be it from punch holes to foldables and whatnot. These days, a tons of smartphones are being launched every month, so it is very difficult to make a video on what smartphones to buy. Rather, I'll focus on what things you should consider when you are buying a smartphone in 2021. At the end, I will also mention few smartphones which are worth buying before any competitions arrive. So keep watching till the end, and I will also be discussing about should you buy a 5G smartphone in 2021. Don't skip it. The first thing that you must decide is to make a proper budget for a smartphone. Whatever it is, keep the budget in mind first, then decide on what requirement do you need. Be realistic with this. The budget and requirement should justify each other. For example, if you are in a budget for 50,000 phones which moderate day-to-day usage, then your requirement should be a phone with a 4 to 6 gigabytes of RAM with 64 to 120 GB storage and a 7000 series Snapdragon chipset. Whereas if your budget stays the same but the requirement changes to gaming, then you have to look out for a better processor with more storage and RAM. Now, starting off with the display, according to me, the resolution of a display doesn't matter as long as it is a full HD display. Until and unless you are a pixel peeper, it should do well. What matters more is the viewing angles of a display and the colors. Watch out for that. These days, mostly all smartphones come with decent viewing angles. Only in the low range, there might be some problems. Also, if you are considering the 25,000 to 30,000 price range, which is very huge, you should always look out for AMOLED displays. Coming to the RAM and storage, as I said earlier, this depends on the requirement. Just remember that having a UFS 2.0, 3.0 or 3.1 storage would give you better storage speeds. This is more evident in high-end smartphones. Whereas for mid-range devices, try to get a triple slot for storing your SIM cards and memory cards rather than a hybrid one. Next up, we have the battery. When it comes to the batteries, look out for a bigger one. Fast charging is great and most phones have it. I would recommend you that you don't fall for those crazy fast charging phones as they kill your battery for the long run. Big battery phones make much more sense than a super fast charging phone. Also, along with the battery, it is the optimization that matters as well. Whereas for performance, choose a phone that has a good processor. For mid-range, the Snapdragon 700 series is a rescue. What you should make sure is that the processor should not heat up or throttle under extended usage. The battery to performance optimization should be good. A clear example here would be choosing Snapdragon's processor instead of Exynos processor while you are buying Samsung's flagship. Also watch the reviews on this device to look for these points. Let us come to the most confusing part, that is the camera. Well, this is the place where most of us and the smartphone itself struggles, especially for mid-range devices. Getting up straight, the number of cameras and the megapixel doesn't matter. A single camera with a telephoto or wide angle makes more sense than buying a quad camera setup which has 3 useless camera. If you need an example, look at the Pixel devices. A single camera doesn't go with the competition. Again, watch the camera reviews of that device and then decide. Don't stick your judgment just to the numbers when it comes to cameras on smartphone. Then, coming to the UI, this also should be well thought out. It is because the UIs which are getting currently, you would be going to use them each day. Some of the UIs like MIUI and others have ads, and because of these recommendations and everything, they will be hindering with your experience. Surely you could get rid of them if you have technical knowledge, but always choose close to stock Android as far as possible, something which is clean and which you are comfortable using. And with the biggest sell and the scam of 2021 in India, that is 5G. The things that should have become widespread in 2020 are 5G smartphones and perhaps the in-display cameras. Well, I would say that don't let 5G be the deciding factor for a smartphone in 2021. If you are planning on using a smartphone for 3 to 4 years or more, wait for more information about it. 5G for India is unknown, especially in 2021. We don't know any details about the spectrum allocation or the 5G bands which would be used. So, smartphone manufacturers would even do several strategies to sell you 5G phones with a single or few 5G bands. And then let me tell you, what if those 5G bands which are present in your phone are not used when the 5G actually comes in India? So as a result, I would say you should try to avoid them. Don't choose a smartphone just because it has or doesn't have 5G until there are more details about it. It is better to wait till then. Another thing which might catch a trend is the in-display cameras. One of the Chinese OEMs have already done it. If this catches a trend, then it shall be the first to come on the flagship phones and then down to the mid-range devices. If other companies follow the Apple trend as well, you could see a lot of compact phones in 2021. So, these were all the things and factors that you should keep in mind before you are buying a smartphone in 2021. I hope this helps you to take a buying decision. Also, I've picked a few phones which you can buy if you are planning to buy a smartphone within a couple of days. The first smartphones on the list are Redmi Note 9 Pro and the Realme 7. These two smartphones are great all-rounder phones for 15,000 to 16,000 which you can buy right now. There is also an offering from Poco as well. If your budget is higher than 20,000, then the Motorola One Fusion Plus is the best bang for your money. Going ahead to 25,000, you can go with the OnePlus Nord or the Samsung M51. If you are looking for value for money flagships, then the OnePlus 8 or the OnePlus 8 Pro, the Samsung S20 Fan Edition or the Pixel 4a can be great picks as well. I will include the links to buy this phone in the description below. You can check them out from there. Thus, that's it for the video. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends and family so that they can also choose a smartphone properly in 2021. Thank you for watching and wish you guys a very happy new year.